What just happened in Dallas has left the entire Cowboys nation stunned, confused, and scrambling for answers. In what can only be described as a seismic moment for the franchise, the Dallas Cowboys have announced the sudden and unexpected departure of one of their key players, a name that has become synonymous with their recent campaigns, a name fans wore proudly on their jerseys, shouted during games, and defended on social media against critics. As this news broke earlier today, fans across the country and indeed around the world were left speechless. For a team that has spent the past few seasons carefully building a roster with the talent and balance needed to make a serious Super Bowl push, this sudden change is not only surprising, it's potentially season-defining. The news dropped without warning. No rumors, no slow leaks, no hints from insiders. Just a cold, hard press release from the Cowboys front office confirming the exit. And almost instantly, sports analysts, insiders, and fans alike began speculating. Why now? Why this player? And what comes next? Initial reactions ranged from disbelief to full-on frustration. Twitter exploded with comments like, "No way, this is real. What are the Cowboys thinking? And this better be part of a bigger plan." For years, this player has been a core part of the team's identity on and off the field. His leadership in the locker room, his energy on the field, his bond with teammates, and his connection with the fans made him more than just a number on a jersey. Whether it was a game-saving interception, a critical touchdown, or simply rallying the squad after a rough first half, this guy was a cornerstone. His absence will leave more than just a gap in the depth chart, it's a gut punch to the morale of the team and its supporters. Inside sources claim that the decision was mutual, that there were conversations happening behind closed doors about contracts, future roles, and possible friction with the coaching staff. But that's all speculation at this point. Officially, the Cowboys maintain that the move is strategic and aligned with the long-term goals of the organization. They say it's about restructuring, adapting to the ever-changing dynamics of the league, and setting up for long-term success. But fans aren't buying it, at least not yet. Many feel blindsided, and understandably so. This wasn't just any player. This was a team captain, a vocal leader, someone who embodied the grit and determination that Dallas fans expect from their stars. Social media videos are already circulating of fans tearing down posters, replacing jerseys, and recording reaction videos expressing their heartbreak and disbelief. Some have gone so far as to say this is the worst personnel decision since the team let go of legends decades ago. And while that might be an emotional overreaction, it underscores just how deeply this news has affected the fanbase. As of now, Cowboys management is standing firm, insisting that they've already laid the groundwork for what comes next. According to one spokesperson, the departure opens up opportunities for younger players to step up, develop, and shine in the upcoming season. They're framing it as a changing of the guard, a new chapter in the Cowboys' story. And to be fair, the Cowboys have drafted well in recent years. Several young standouts have emerged, and if nurtured correctly, could indeed take over leadership roles and even outperform their predecessor. But talent is only one part of the equation. Chemistry, experience, and locker room presence matter just as much, sometimes even more. And that's where the uncertainty lies. Can the Cowboys keep the locker room united? Can they recover mentally from losing someone who was, by all accounts, the emotional heartbeat of the team? And what does this mean for their strategy going into the 2025 season? If this move was meant to free up cap space, does it mean the Cowboys are planning a big signing? Is there a major trade on the horizon? Or is this part of a broader rebuild that fans weren't prepared for? Let's not forget, the Cowboys have been hovering in that frustrating space between contender and pretender for several years now. Each season ends with flashes of brilliance, but not enough to get over the hump. Last year's playoff exit was a bitter pill to swallow, especially considering the talent on the roster. And while the front office promised bold changes, no one expected this bold. Many are now wondering, is this the first domino to fall? Could more departures be on the way? Could we see a fire sale? Or is this a surgical decision meant to reshape the team with minimal disruption? If you ask some insiders, they'll tell you this isn't as unexpected internally as it seems to fans. There have been whispers for months about growing tension behind-the-scenes differences in philosophy, frustration over play calling, a desire from certain players to explore opportunities elsewhere. But again, all we have are fragments. What we know for sure is that the team now faces one of its most pivotal moments in recent history. The coming weeks will define whether this shocking move becomes a stroke of genius or a regrettable misstep. There's already talk about how this affects the locker room culture. Young players who looked up to this veteran might now feel unsettled, even disillusioned. Trust in the organization can be a fragile thing, especially when team leaders are removed suddenly. Coaches will have to work overtime not just on playbooks, but on psychology, keeping everyone focused, motivated, and believing in the bigger picture. At the same time, fans are looking for answers and hope. They want to know that this move, painful as it is, will ultimately lead to something greater. They want reassurance that the Cowboys are still all in on chasing a championship. The timing, too, is critical. With the preseason looming and training camp just weeks away, there isn't much time to adjust. Whoever steps into the void will need to be ready physically and mentally to handle enormous pressure. It's one thing to be the next man up. It's another thing entirely to replace a legend. Media personalities are already speculating about replacements, suggesting names of free agents, practice squad standouts, or even position shifts for current players. But none of those names bring the same weight, the same history, the same connection with fans. There's a real risk that whoever gets chosen will face unfair comparisons and scrutiny. Yet, the NFL is a business and an unforgiving one. Every team must adapt or fall behind. Perhaps the Cowboys front office is seeing something we don't. Maybe this is about leadership style. Maybe it's about giving the team a fresh start with younger voices leading the charge. Or maybe it's a gamble, one that could either reignite the Cowboys' Super Bowl hopes or plunge them into another year of disappointment. Only time will tell. Until then, all eyes are on the organization. Every statement will be analyzed, every move scrutinized. Fans will demand transparency, and for good reason. They've stuck with this team through thick and thin, heartbreak and hope, and they deserve to understand where things are headed. As for the departing player, reports suggest he is taking the high road, expressing gratitude for his time in Dallas and showing nothing but class. If that's true, it only adds to the emotional weight of his exit. He leaves not in disgrace or scandal, but as a respected figure, a Cowboy through and through. His next destination remains unknown, but wherever he goes, he will carry with him the legacy of his time in Dallas and likely a massive chip on his shoulder to prove that he's still got it. And you better believe that when he lines up against the Cowboys in the future, he'll be looking to make a statement. For now, Cowboys fans are left processing this bombshell. Some are angry, some are heartbroken, some are cautiously optimistic, but all are united in one thing: they love this team, and they want to see it succeed. Whether this decision helps or hurts, that goal remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: the 2025 Dallas Cowboys season just got a whole lot more interesting. So stay tuned, Cowboys Nation. This story is far from over.